Good morning, my cookie crumbs. Before we get into today's one shot, I just want to give out a massive trigger warning. If this is not your thing, by all means, please skip this. I understand entirely. Just be sure to take care of yourself both physically and mentally. So, trigger warning for mentions of suicide, different ways to commit suicide, mentions of self-harm. Just, okay, guys, take care of yourselves, okay? I'll see you in the next one shot or in the next story. Here we go. Izuku Midoriya wandered through the woods. He knew these woods like the back of his hand. He's gone down these parts so many times. He often wondered, what it'd be like to just be a tree in the middle of the forest. Could other trees talk to each other? Were they all friends? Were they family? Did they get along? What was tree society like? He knew that trees had feelings. Were they sentient? Izuku wasn't sure. It was just a curious thought. Izuku was tired of living, to be blunt. He had often thought of just leaving the world. He looked down at his wrists. Lines upon lines dotted the arms, up to his forearms. He sighed and gave himself a hug. At home with his mom, he was neglected at best. At school, abused at worst. Izuku just couldn't take it anymore. He was tired of being so strong, and for what? A dream he knew that may or may never come true. He just wanted it out. He wanted out. He was done. He didn't want to leave his mother behind, but he just couldn't deal anymore. So many nights he would cry himself to sleep. He had began to lose his appetite more and more and more. Bakugo ramped up his abuse. The teachers still encouraged him. Nothing was ever done. He would hide his injuries. Anytime he would go to a clinic, it would be a quirkless clinic in the outskirts of the city, in the most dangerous parts of the city. And even they couldn't help him. They would just patch him up and send him home. They all felt bad for him, but knew that there wasn't much that they could do. Izuku thought about taking a train to the Akigahara, but he didn't want to spend the money. He didn't have much money to begin with. Instead, he trekked through the forest that he knew, like he said, at the back of his hand. He set his backpack down, took his shoes off, rolled up his pant legs, and stuck his feet into the water before him. It was a stream. No, it was a river. It was still at the moment, but he knew that once the storm had rolled in, this river would become rough. He had thought of other ways to go to the other side, but he knew that they wouldn't work, and he didn't want to make a mess. He sighed. He looked up at the stars and saw the brightest one. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might, have my wish fulfilled tonight, he said softly. In my next life, I don't wish to be born human. I wish to be born a wolf, so I may run free, with no worries, no responsibilities, and no dreams. I could run as far away as I desire. I could be free. Please, stars, help me seek asylum in a place where I never could seek asylum. Help me find a home where I could never. Just then the clouds rolled over, and Izuku watched as the storm came in. Lightning flashed, brightening up the forest. The river was starting to pick up. This was Izuku's chance. Before he could get in, a growl behind him rang out. He looked behind, and it was a giant panther. He wanted to know why a giant panther was here, but it didn't matter. He wasn't going to let this panther do the deed. He wanted to die on his own terms. He left his backpack behind and his shoes and his socks, and he bolted, the panther giving chase. Izuku came across to a cliff with a waterfall that was steep enough for him to jump and end it all. The panther just stood there. Izuku looked at it, and the panther looked sad, as if he didn't want this. Izuku was curious about this panther. Why was it sad? It didn't have any reason to be. Wasn't it here to eat him? Izuku backed, and his foot fell off of the cliff. And the next thing he knew, his world went black. Cub, Cub, come on, Cub, wake up. Huh? Cub? Izuku woke up and shook himself off. Where am I? In the forest. Come on, pup, get up. Cub? Pup? What are you talking about? Explanations later. Get up. Later? Wait, what? You're that... Izuku took a closer look. You're that panther. What the heck? Hi? Hello, problem cub. That's not my name. My name is Izuku Midoriya. Or at least it was. I think I'm dead now. You are. But look at yourself. Huh? Wait. Pause? Izuku went over to the still water and saw that he was a wolf pup. What happened to me? You made a wish on that star, and it granted your wish. It granted my wish. Izuku then began to laugh. The one thing I ever get granted in this life was this. Well, at least I'm free now. Yes. Welcome to the Forest of the Lost. Forest of the Lost? What do you mean? Any lost soul that comes here to remove themselves, they become animals. They live free until they move on to their next life. That's right. So, I'm one of those. And who are... I'm Shota. I came here many, many moons ago. Come on. We're late. Late? Late for what? To meet your new pack, of course. Pack? You mean I have a family now? A family that cares? Yes. Now come on. My mate is excited to meet you. And my other cubs. Really? Yes, come along. Shota, did you find the baby? Is he... Oh, look at you, cub. This is Hisashi, my partner. The big blonde coyote stood tall and proud. The little cub. Oh, Joe, he's so precious. Look at him. Come here, let's get you groomed. Huh? Well, wait. Hisashi began to groom the tiny little wolf pup. The other cub, that was bigger than him, giggled. Better get used to it, new brother. Papa's a bit... Hitoshi? Do you need another grooming? Nope, I'm good. I'm so good, the snow leopard said. Oh, by the way, I'm Hitoshi. I'm your new brother. Well, older brother. I think I'm older. How old were you? 14. I was supposed to turn 15 in July. It doesn't matter now, I guess. You matter to us, and you're home now, sweetie. So welcome home. Thank you. Oh, and who is she? Oh, this is your new sister. Your older sister, since you were kinda born after she was. Hi, I'm Eri. Nice to meet you, Eri. She was a cute little cub, but Izuku couldn't quite place what she was. Was she a cougar? A mountain lion? His question was then answered. We found her up in the mountains. She's a snow leopard, like Hitoshi. Oh. You're very cute. Thank you. You're really cute too. Papa, may I play with him? As soon as I'm done grooming, you kids can go play. Now, hold still, Zuzu. Oh, right. Welcome to your new home, Izuku. You're going to be happy here, I promise. Don't make promises you can't keep. Then we'll prove it. Actions speak louder than words, do they not? They do. Then we'll prove it to you, little bro. Yeah, baby, we'll prove it to you. And they did. Over the years, Izuku had been so loved by his new family. Sadly, he had to say goodbye to his dad and his papa when it came to be their time. They had promised they would find them in their next life. And they promised the same. They went peacefully. And then Hitoshi had went next, killed by a hunter, defending their home. Izuku was upset, but promised the same thing to Hitoshi, that they would find him in his next life. They would meet again someday. That he hoped that Hitoshi had found their dad and papa in the next life. Eri did the same. Eri went next. She had been protecting Izuku and got caught in a mudslide. Izuku had promised the same thing as he promised all his other lost packmates. That not only would he continue living, that he would find them in their next life. Izuku lived on for a few more years, bringing in new lost souls and helping them find their new homes and families within the forest. He had become known as the Guardian, a wolf who takes in lost souls and helps them find new homes. As the years went on, Izuku grew old, and it was time for him to go and find his packmates in the next life. He had lived long and well. He had taken on a mate, and he had beautiful children. His oldest son came up to him. "Dad, are you..." "It's time, my child. Time for me to go find my packmates. Time for me to find them in my next life. I understand. I'll miss you, Dad, and I'll miss you and your brothers and sisters. You take good care of them, all right?" "Yes, Dad. Oh, and I appoint you as the next guardian. Protect every soul that comes here and guide them." "Yes, Dad. I understand." "That's my good boy." Izuku then passed away peacefully. Before he went on to his next life, he decided to visit something that he hasn't visited in a long time. His own grave from his other life. His human life from before. He knelt down and rubbed the headstone. His mother had sadly passed away a little bit after he did. She couldn't take the heartbreak and died of broken heart syndrome. Bakugo, Katsuki Bakugo, was buried next to his parents across the way. Bakugo's dad had died of cancer. Mitsuki had died of after her husband died, she had become a little more aggressive. Her aggression caused her quirk to malfunction, and she sadly passed. Katsuki went on to be the #1 hero, as he boasted about. But sadly, he was like in Denver. He too became too aggressive, and his aggression was his downfall. He had caused a massive explosion that took out a good chunk of a city. And in that explosion, he got caught. And of all things, he died under a collapsed building. Even if he would have gotten out, his lungs had been punctured by his broken ribs. He would have died at the hospital. A small mercy, Izuku thought. He had paid a visit to all of the graves and went on. "Well, it's about time you got home." "Welcome home, Izu." "Hi, Izu." "Welcome home, problem child." "Hey, I'm home, everybody," Izuku said. He jumped into their arms, and they wandered off into the light, hand in hand as a family. "Ready for our next big adventure?" "Absolutely. What about you guys?" "I'm ready when you are." "Same." "Let's go then." They crossed into the light, heading into their brand new life and their next brand new adventure. So this wasn't too bad. And again, I hope that you guys take care of yourselves, both physically and mentally. I know that even reading these stories can be really, really tough. This is my first ever story with me doing this. I have written stories like this before, just I've never posted them or shared them like ever. I too have had issues, and for the longest time I couldn't read stories like these because they were a bit triggering. But I'm a lot better. I'm in a better place than I was. And I'm doing great, both physically and mentally. Well, except right now. I'm burnt out, so my exhausted butt is gonna go get some more rest. So I'll see you guys later. And please, once again, take good care of yourselves. And if you need to talk, by all means, talk to somebody you trust. It doesn't have to be a loved one. It can be a complete stranger. Just talk to somebody you trust or can trust. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.